Okay, we got a very short video here all about smart meters, prepayment meters, and what is really going on around the UK. Okay, this is fresh information. It's just hit the press, so this is being shared. I advise you guys talk about this in your chat rooms, your forums, share it on Facebook. All right, and if you need to email me about anything related to this video, the email address is below this video. Okay, who has heard of the group in the UK called Citizens Advice? I've had to use these on occasions in my past a long time ago, and yeah, they are seriously up against it. Can you imagine the amount of migration to digital technologies with the help that they're trying to provide? Very, very difficult. Okay, so Citizens Advice have called for a ban, right, on energy companies forcing customers onto prepayment meters because they are struggling to pay their bills. Like we spoke about this ages ago on the live streams, and it's all coming to pass. Like we said, January and February is real winter, and that is when the screws are going to be tightened with energy consumption. It doesn't take a genius to work that out. So we're going to read on. The charity estimates that 3.2 plus million people across the UK ran out of credit on their prepayment card or key electric gas meters. Wow. Now that is astonishing, and I suspect that that figure is going to be higher. They usually are. Statistics are just a base idea, but in reality what's really going on, how are they going to know everyone that's reported this to them? So you could probably double that figure. All right, very scary. So what they're saying is, and this is hard to believe, right, the equivalent of one every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds or less, I would predict, more people are finding they've got zero credit in their prepayment meters, whether it's gas or electric, right? Some have meters installed while others have smart meters. Do you remember me talking about smart meters on 10 live streams ago, maybe more? Okay, smart meters, they are to be avoided at all costs. They really, really are. Okay, it's sinister, the truth behind smart meters. And no, it's not conspiracy, it is absolute fact. They are a danger to your health, and they will literally just bleed data from your household every single second of the day they are turned on, especially if they're connected to IoT, which is the Internet of Things. Anyway, I digress. We go on with this publication that was released first thing this morning. Some have meters installed while others have smart meters automatically switched to prepayment mode. The key word, automatically. Without your control, they switch it over to prepayment if you can't pay your bill or whatever it is. Okay, so straight away you've lost any contact or freedom. It is automatically done for you, whether you like it or not, whether you've got a bad situation or not. The computer says no, done, automatic. Very bad indeed. So people using prepayment meters to pay their gas, electricity by topping up their meter, either through accounts or by adding credit to a card in any convenience store or post office. This is what I used to use before I moved to Wales. Okay, and yeah, you do pay a lot more for it too. So talk about the rich getting rich and the poor getting poorer. This is one of those very many stories about just that. Okay, this is a much more expensive method of paying than direct debit. You're trying to get people into direct debit. Okay, but there's sometimes the only option for people who have struggled to pay and are in debt to an energy supplier. Many rented properties also have prepayment meters. I can vouch for that. My previous house was a prepayment meter. I'm glad I'm out of that situation. Problems can arise when residents no longer have any credit left on the meter and have no money to top it up, leaving them unable to cook or heat in their homes. Citizens Advice said it saw more people that were unable to top up their prepayment meter last year than the whole of the previous 10 years combined. 10 years combined. Last year wiped out 10 years worth of just this sort of thing happened. Wow. Suppliers can use the technology to swap customers onto prepayment methods without their permission. Sinister. Citizens Advice is calling for a ban on this practice, as well as ruling out energy suppliers going into homes to fit prepayment meters until more protection is put in place. That's scandalous, it really is. It gave an example of one of the charity's clients who said her power went off just before Christmas. Oh man, that's terrible. And later discovered her meter had been switched to prepayment mode without her consent. Just before Christmas, when lots of businesses are closing down for the break. That must have been a nightmare. Can you imagine that with a small family as well? Terrible. The person says, in quote, "I assumed it was a power cut. I had no way to make any calls, so my daughter and I were literally left in the dark all night with no heating, lights, means of cooking any food," she told the charity. "I explained that I was on a priority services register. I also said I am in a wheelchair and unable to access my meter, but none of it made any difference. I am now reliant on my sister or her husband to go to the post office to help me top up my meter. Over Christmas I went without energy because the credit ran out and the post office was closed, so my daughter and I sat there in the cold and in the dark throughout Christmas." That's heartbreaking. It seriously is. The charity said it heard other cases, including someone unable to top up their medication needed to be refrigerated. Of course, absolutely, you need to have your fridge running for certain meds. Absolutely, that is true. Or a single parent with a young baby left without light or heat for 48 hours because she could not afford to put any money on the meter. Wow. It said 1 in 5 households, including some who is disabled or long-term sick, which ran out of credit last year, went on to spend 2 days or more without energy supply. I could read on, but it's dystopian. I think we know enough from what has been said so far. So yes, that is actually what's going on in the UK. All right, if you're struggling with electricity, gas, that sort of thing, topping up the thing, but you still have access to your phone and internet, okay, can you please send me an email about your situation of what you've experienced, and I'm more than gladly happy to share it with everyone to give everyone a better picture of exactly what is going on here in the UK. It's important for us to know, and there's not much mainstream covering issues just like this. All right, we need to find out more what's going on, and we need to find out the truth, and we need to share it. And all of those people who are in need, who can't help themselves, we need to try and find a way to help everyone. Every little bit helps. We can all do something. Like I said, there's an email address below this video. I encourage you to send me an email, and I'll do my best to make it public. If you wish to remain anonymous, like some people do, that's absolutely fine. I can personally guarantee this will be the case. So, thank you very much for watching, and stay funky.